yesterday.
And people think you don't like sports.
I might not, but I just know sports.
Okay.
I know sports better than just about anyone else on the planet, which is why, as I was trying to start the show, I feel I feel for you. I feel for you.
Okay.
Look, we're going to get to last night's game. Don't you worry, okay?
Right.
And that great defensive performance and the end of Aaron Rodgers' career, which I get great joy out of. Finally done with him. Of course, it's probably going to wind up on television within about 3 months. I'm going to get sick of him again like I did the Kelsey brothers and their stupid podcast that I can't stand. But that's another story for another day. I'm feeling for you.
Okay.
Because one of the early conversations you and I had, and we had a little disagreement about it, is that you view the Giants as a class organization, a pedigree, as one of the first NFL football teams going back 100 years, et cetera, and that we should still view them that way. And you and I went back and forth a little bit on it last week about how they used to be that, my opinion, not yours, and then for the last decade, they can no longer lay claim to the prestige of being a special, I heard Boomer say this morning, and I'm not arguing with him, a Tiffany network type of program. And that used to be the case, so I'm not denying that. It's just no longer the case now. And I think I can now back that up. And I feel for you because your team's embarrassing themselves now. And they're doing something one of my favorite teams did. And it's funny because I brought this up to you last week, that in the Giants' pursuit of John Harbaugh, I hope, this is what I said last week, I hope they don't pull a New York Knickerbocker move and make like a video of well-known New Yorkers saying, come on, John, come to the Giants, like the Knicks did for LeBron James, remember?
I do remember that.
So the New York Giants are pretty damn close to doing that. And now they're embarrassing themselves with desperation, and it's beneath them, all right? And here's why. I applaud the Giants for having Chris Maurer get on the Amtrak and go down to, I assume, a suburb of Baltimore and meet with John Harbaugh before they even did any of their interviews and before anyone else got a chance to talk to him. He went down there as a representative of the ownership of the New York Giants, and they just talked man to man. I give the Giants a lot of credit for that. A, they didn't tell anybody they did it. B, it's the right move. And C, you get ahead of all the other competition. So I give you a little checkbox on that.
I'm waiting for the embarrassing part.
Here's the embarrassing part.
Okay.
The New York Giants are now asking and have asked legendary figures in their history to reach out to John Harbaugh because they're desperate. Much like when the New York Knicks had Tony Soprano and other well-known people who might be at a New York Knicks game reach out to LeBron James, like the mayor, Mike Bloomberg at the time. Come on, LeBron, right? And we all kind of mocked it as that's not Nick-like. And obviously they didn't get LeBron James. Well, the Giants are now following the wrong script. The New York Giants have now asked multiple well-known people associated with the program to reach out to John Harbaugh and wax poetic about how great the New York Giants are. It's pathetic. It's beneath your once storied franchise. And I feel for you because you got sold a bill of goods as a child. I don't know if it was your uncle, your mom, your dad, whomever it was in your life that said, son, you root for the Giants. You're going to have great joy in life because this is a prestigious organization that frankly gets credit for starting the NFL. And you said, yes, Dada. Yes, Uncle.
Yes.
And now look at you, a near 40-year-old man who's living in a world where your New York football team is now stooping to the lowest of lows and embarrassing themselves. Tom Coughlin?
Yes.
Hey, Coach Coughlin, who we fired, could you do us a favor and could you reach out to John and tell him how great it is to work for the New York Giants? Hey, Lawrence, can you reach out to John Harbaugh and tell him how great it would be to be associated with the New York Giants? It's pathetic.
This is a full court press.
Yeah, it's pathetic. John Harbaugh's not that good.
It's not pathetic. No, he's the guy. That's what they're telling him.
Okay.
They're showing him love.
Yeah.
They're showing him they want him. Right? Tom Coughlin, you just mentioned fired. That's the kind of relationship we have with coaches we show the door to. They still want to stick around and do right by us because that's what kind of wonderful organization that we are.
Really?
He's the guy.
Tom Coughlin went back to Jacksonville as quick as he possibly could because they want to write him a check when the Giants were like, if you want to keep an office here, we're not going to pay you, but it's fine.
Right.
So don't tell me Tom Coughlin walked out of New York a happy guy.
I'm not saying he walked out of New York a happy guy. He walked right past the owner in his press conference to say goodbye. Walked right past him, give him the handshake.
Didn't shake his hand.
And yet still, here he is doing the Lord's work for the New York Giants.
Well, I'm sure a paycheck came along with it.
Well, I don't know.
It's my gut.
Whatever the case may be.
But
and Chris Mara, he is pretty much, he's been the representation of the Mara family. He's been the one on the road.
John's obviously not well enough to do that.
Right.
With respect.
That's the most senior member of the Giants ownership group making the trek down to his house. That's letting him know how much we desire him.
Is that right?
That's what it's about.
So he failed.
He's not failed.
A failed personnel director that's mocked by most other teams in football for not being great at his job is the guy that went down to Baltimore to tell him that the Mara family thinks highly of him. I give you credit for that. His last name is Mara.
Right.
I have no issue with that.
Yeah.
But I do have an issue with a once proud organization now embarrassing itself. It's beneath you and it's beneath them. If you need Tom Coughlin and Carl Banks and, Jason Sehorn.
Stop.
Yeah. And Lawrence Taylor and Leonard Marshall.
Did I see Lawrence Taylor?
Yeah. And Odell Beckham to pick up the phone and say, hey, John, you're going to love it with the Giants. They're a first-class organization.
Tom Coughlin reached out.
Tom Coughlin
reached
did not.
Out. Yes, he did.
Tom Coughlin was asked to reach out.
He reached out.
Eli Manning was asked to reach out. Meaning the New York Giants don't think that without getting a little pressure from former all-world Giants and coaches that John Harbaugh would ever consider the Giants.
Stop it.
I feel for you.
You're making this up now.
I feel for you.
No, it's a team
Eli
showing.
Manning did not call John Harbaugh without being asked to do it.
Okay.
Tom Coughlin was asked. I know it's a fact. Was asked to call John Harbaugh.
Right.
They didn't say in the middle of a round of golf and a nice lemonade on the back nine. You know what I think I'm going to do? I had such a great experience with the New York Giants. Right. I'm going to, on my own accord, pick up the phone and call John Harbaugh up and go, John, I just want to tell you, between me and you should definitely take the Giants job. It's pathetic.
Why is that pathetic?
Because it's beneath you.
No, it's not.
Because if you don't get the guy on merit, then you don't deserve the guy.
Stop. This is on merit.
No, it's not.
It's merit. They have Super Bowl champion coaches who are still with us. The Falcons do not. Other teams do not. The Tennessee Titans do not. That's what makes this organization special.
Is that right?
It's history.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with trying to go out there and put a full court press on and make it very clear to John Harbaugh that we want you as bad as you might want anyone else. Like, we want nobody else. If we're going to lose this, it's not going to be because we haven't shown you how much we want you to be the next head coach of the New York Giants. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't feel embarrassed. You know what I'll feel embarrassed?
Go ahead.
If he picks the Tennessee Titans over the New York Giants. If he picks the Atlanta Falcons over the New York Giants.
Rightfully so.
If he picks any of these jobs that are currently available over the New York Giants, that's when I'll be embarrassed.
Yeah?
So the organization doing what it knows it needs to do to make sure the fan base doesn't actually feel the real embarrassment of missing out on a coach to a lesser franchise with a lesser roster and quarterback situation.
Sorry.
They're going out and doing it.
We have breaking news. I have to interrupt your diatribe there that was boring me anyway. You have a new horse in the race.
Really?
Yeah. Mike Tomlin is stepping down from the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Is that a fact?
Just announced moments ago, Mike Tomlin is now available to be the next head coach of the New York Giants. Or dare I say, the New York Jets. I know the Jets are still working with Aaron Glenn, but that just came across. Mike Tomlin, after last night's loss, they've not won a playoff game in essentially a decade now, despite the fact he's never been under 500. Mike Tomlin, and I want to be clear about this, the report I'm seeing is that he is stepping down.
Right.
The Steelers did not fire him.
Correct.
It's obviously a mutual thing. The Steelers are allowing him to step down. With that, I assume they're going to allow him to seek employment elsewhere. That's not confirmed yet, but that's the way my mind goes. That makes sense to me. If you're going to let the guy walk away, you let the guy go get a job. You stop paying him because he's stepping down. But now you've got competition. Now I ask you again. Do you want Mike Tomlin, or do you want to keep embarrassing yourself trying to get John Harbaugh?
No, I've already said Mike Tomlin, but I don't know, because I agree. I'm a Mike Tomlin guy, been from the beginning.
As am I.
I would go get Mike Tomlin if he's available.
Would you have Tom Coughlin call him?
Yes.
Would you have Plaxico Burress call him?
Yes.
You would?
Yes.
Okay, would you have Victor Cruz call him?
I would have anyone I thought would help.
Hey, Eli, could you do me a solid and call Mike?
Anyone who can help, I would help.
Hey, Phil, could you call Mike?
Yes.
All right, consistent.
Let's talk about this for a second, because I don't know if you're right. I don't know. Like, he's got a year under his belt. He still has a year on the contract.
2 years left.
I think it's this year and then a team option.
He's under contract.
Yeah, I don't. Why do you think they're just going to let him out of his contract if he's stepping down?
Well, because if you let the guy step down,
I think they're going to seek compensation.
Well, no. If you let him step down, he's no longer. Oh, you're saying even
if
though
he wants another job, you got to trade me for him. They have the rights to him. This is the same thing that happened with Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Sean Payton had to sit out
a
year. He still was under contract with the Saints. He had the
little different because of the suspension, but I'm with you.
Well, yeah, he came back from that.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're just going to let him go.
Oh, I do. I think if you give a team 2 decades of service and you've never had a losing season and you have a Super Bowl win and the guy's done nothing but win and win and win.
Yeah, but this doesn't say mutual agreement.
No,
this says he's stepping down as the coach.
I think I respect the Steelers that in this regard, you let the guy go. You let him go. You hold the guy up. I mean, the guy gave you 20 years, essentially, of non-losing football.
Right.
And he gave you a Super Bowl. And I know it's been a decade without a title. But if the guy goes into you and says, I think it's best for both of us, that on good terms.
Yeah.
You've been great to me. I think I've delivered the goods for you. Obviously, I haven't had a quarterback since Roethlisberger was in his prime. I got to eat that as a coach. But my gut is that the Rooney family will allow him to seek employment elsewhere. I could be totally wrong on that. That's my gut, just first blush.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. They have an asset. He's under contract. He's going to be able to go find if he wants. First of all, do we know he wants to coach? Right, that's the first thing. Right, there's been a lot of rumors that he wants to just take a year off, get away from it for a while.
Go to TV, maybe something like that.
Go to TV. Right, there was a report yesterday. I forget who it was from. But there was a report that he's got a contract for. If he wants to go to TV, it's in his back pocket. He can go to TV.
I believe that. I think John Harbaugh could too, Bob. Probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can't believe both of them are available.
Yeah. So now half that division is looking for a new coach.
I can't believe both of them are available.
3/4 of that division because the Browns fired Stefanski.
Yeah.
So the AFC North only has one coach.
That's it.
And I would have fired that guy too. Zach Taylor. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
I would have fired every coach in that division.
Unbelievable.
All right. So here's the deal. Now this is very interesting. Now, keep the Jets out of it for the moment. The Jets show no inkling at all to firing Aaron Glenn. So just put them to the side. We'll get to them in a little bit.
Right.
From a Giant perspective, now that there's a legitimate competitor.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to argue Tomlin and Harbaugh are now 1-1A either or.
However you view it.
I know you prefer Tomlin. I do as well.
Yeah.
But they're the same guy, right? 18 years in one place, 19 years in the other place. Now we can stop kissing Harbaugh's ass. Is what we can do. Now we can say to John Harbaugh, if you want the Giants job, take it. If not, we're good. We now have Tomlin as our backup and Stefanski as his backup, right?
Yeah.
So this gets very juicy now.
It does.
If you're a New York Giant.
It's hard to miss out. It's hard to mess this up.
Okay, well, here's the question. They're interviewing someone today. I'm blocking on the name they're bringing in today.
Mike McCarthy today.
Is it McCarthy?
Yeah.
McCarthy today.
Yeah.
Harbaugh tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, is Tomlin coming in on Friday?
I don't know. We don't know the situation with Tomlin. We don't know. He's stepping down.
Even if it costs you a draft pick, you got to bring him in Friday.
I would do it for a draft pick. 100%? I would. I can't do it for this year's first round pick. I can't trade a top 5 pick.
I agree.
But I would be open to like a second round pick of next year or something like that. And again, I would think the Steelers would do that because I think, like me and you both think, someone will pay something. He's under contract. He signed a contract. He's stepping down. Harbaugh was fired.
That's after obviously meeting with them.
No,
like he sat down with Art Rooney Jr. or whatever it is. I do, 100%. You don't after 20 years, you don't just announce you're stepping down and not talk to the owner first.
But my point is we don't know it's mutual. You're right. He told the owner before it became public, but it might have been his, no matter what they think, I'm done with coaching this team.
I think a few things. I think, number one, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, while they respect Mike Tomlin a great deal, they want,
I don't think they do.
They want
I don't
a different
think they
voice.
do enough.
No, I think they want a new voice in there. Yeah. After 19 years and 1 Super Bowl title and 10 years without a playoff win, I think the Steeler fan, and I don't get it because you and I have never lived in that world where we go 20 years without a losing season. I have no idea what that's like. But I think the Steeler fan's ready to move on.
Yeah.
I thought the Raven fan was ready to move on, and they did. And now it's very interesting because if John Harbaugh thought he was getting his pick of the job, he might not now. He might not just get to decide, I go where I want to go.
Right.
Because now there's a new sheriff in town, and his name's Reggie Hemmings.
It's certainly competition. I mean, I just don't know. We don't know where his head is at right now. We just don't know.
He's probably pissed that his quarterback couldn't score a touchdown last night.
Well, obviously.
He might be pissed that his 42-year-old quarterback threw a 50-yard pick six.
Does he want
He might be pissed at all that stuff.
Yeah, but it's the next day.
He might be pissed that his GM never got him a second wide receiver.
It's the next day.
I know.
It's the next day. These guys don't like to make emotional decisions. My thought is this has been in the workings for a while. He's probably felt for a while.
Maybe.
This is going to be. I don't think you make this. I don't think this is about last night and about the disappointment of last
cherry
night.
On the top.
This is just. That was just. My guess is, considering it's the next morning, that he has had a plan in his head of this was going to be his last season as a coach for at least a while.
Barring a run.
But even if a run, I would think he's had his mind made up that this is going to be the end, especially if he got wind that Rodgers feels the same. Like if Rodgers is going to retire, you don't have a quarterback.
And you're not picking high enough to get one.
You're not picking high enough to get one. You're looking to try to find one in the free agency, which he would do, and he would go win 10 games because that's who he is.
Right.
But I don't think he wants to do that. So I think this is followed by Rodgers' retirement and just the idea he knew it was coming to an end. But I don't know where his head's at. Does he want to go to TV? Does he want to get right back into coaching? I know you said you want to put it on the back burner. I mean, this is for like the Jets. Like if he takes a year off, and you got to like the timing of this, they're already down the road with a lot of these candidates. Like he has to jump into this right now. He has to be ready to step out of Pittsburgh, go right into this coaching cycle, figure out whether or not his organization is going to let him out of the contract, whether the Rooney's are going to let him out of the contract or not.
He knows that already. We don't know.
We don't know. Yeah, right.
He knows it.
So like that's got to happen immediately. He's got to start taking jobs.
He satisfies
right
the
now.
Rooney rules. You don't worry about that.
Right.
Right.
Well, I mean,
look,
most teams have been through it already.
Now that he's available, and none of those jobs have been filled, everyone's willing to take a pause. Trust me.
Oh, no doubt.
I know, Jordan Schultz is going to join us later next hour because he had the breaking story that Brian Dable is talking to Tennessee. If you're any one of the 7-8 teams that has an opening, and now Mike Tomlin might be available, you tell everyone that's being interviewed.
No doubt.
We're taking a breath. We're taking a little pause right now. I tell you what else this does, though.
Yeah.
For my money, him stepping down and no longer coaching the Steelers, for me, now guarantees us we've seen the last of Aaron Rodgers. That's a lock now.
I agree.
The only way Aaron Rodgers was going to go back to Pittsburgh was if Mike Tomlin was there. Right? He's not going to some new fan coach. He's done.
I would think
so Mike Tomlin did the nation a great service today. I think we are finally done with Aaron Rodgers. We're done with all the nonsense. We're done with the mystery wife. We're done with the ayahuasca. We're done with the Costa Rican vomiting trips. We're done with the dumb documentaries. We're done with the immunization crap.
Yeah.
We're done with the Pat McAfee garbage. We're done. He has now done us a solid, right? Mike Tomlin is a gift to America. Now, if he could just get rid of Kurt Kirkpatrick's dog, we'd be 2 for 2 today.
I'm going to miss him.
I'm going to miss him. Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin has saved us from Aaron freaking Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is the best. I'm going to miss him.
Love it.
I can't believe. I hope he comes back. I hope he goes somewhere else next year.
You would.
I want him back.
You would.
Why do you hate him?
Because Aaron Rodgers can no longer play football.
No, that's not true.
And Aaron Rodgers hijacked my franchise.
Oh, boom.
And Aaron Rodgers didn't win a damn thing.
Yes, okay.
He had 9 fourth-quarter, one-score games with the ball in his hands and went 0 for 9. Aaron Rodgers is done.
He's the only player I can think of that actually willingly chose the New York Jets and came here and tried to make a difference with his team.
You know what?
All he ever did was come here and try and win.
Is that right? That's how you view Aaron Rodgers?
That's exactly how
Is that how you view him?
Yeah, it comes with other nonsense.
Oh, is that right?
It comes with a little bit of hypocrisy, right? Claiming, can't have all these controversies.
There's no such thing as a little hypocrisy.
Yes, there is.
Either you're
There's levels of hypocrisy.
or you're not.
There's levels of hypocrisy.
Is that
Everybody
right?
knows that. Of course
Look
there
at you.
is.
See, now you're just trolling me.
No, I'm not.
Now you're just being a hot take artist.
No, I'm not. There's
now you just throw poop against the wall.
No.
I know
He came in here and chose the New York Jets.
No,
I intend to play. And I intend to play for the New York Jets. Give me someone else who said it. Give me anybody else of any kind of relevance who's ever uttered those words other than Aaron Rodgers. He came here, he tried. The Jets were too big an albatross around his neck to make it work.
Oh, it's the Jets' fault. It's the Jets' fault that we signed every player he wanted us to sign. It's the Jets' fault that we let him run the franchise.
He won 10 games
It's the Jets' fault that he lost against Minnesota throwing a pick 6 in London.
Yeah.
It's the Jets' fault that he had 9 opportunities with the ball in his hand in the fourth quarter to win a game and came up small every time. That's Robert Sala's fault. Yeah, Robert Sala's fault.
Firing the coach was a disaster. That made it worse. The defense completely tanked.
Yeah.
He had one one of the best seasons a quarterback in that uniform has ever had.
We got lots to do today.
I don't know why you hate him. I don't know why Jet fans hate him. I honestly don't know why.
Because he's a douche knuckle.
I mean, listen, he's out there. At least he's interesting. You get Tom Brady shoved down your throat for years. He's the most boring, blah guy ever. Aaron Rodgers is out there doing things. He's interesting. He's fascinating. I want Aaron Rodgers back in the NFL.
I'll take the 7 Super Bowl rings over the interesting Aaron Rodgers, who, by the way, didn't give out candy during Halloween to neighborhood kids in Cedar Grove. How about that? Too big to give out chocolate on Halloween.
Well, maybe he was busy.
Guy
maybe he was busy.
He was busy.
I'm sure he left out a bowl full of candy, and one kid went out and took all of it.
No bowl. We got lots to get to. Aaron Rodgers is washed.
Both these coaches are available.
Mike Tomlin's available.
This is crazy.
John Harbaugh is available.
Woo!
And coming
Giants
up,
are going to get a Super Bowl winning coach. Let's go.
I will do my best to explain to Big Mac why he and all of you Giant fans that have suddenly decided to view John Harbaugh in an incorrect light need to be woken up. I'll do my best to do that, hopefully without too many interruptions, but I expect them to come, and they should, and it's fine. But I walk you through.
Have I been interrupting you? I'm sorry.
You're good.
Okay. All
You're
right.
good.
Okay.
You're good. You're good. I'm going to walk you through and explain to you the best I can why you guys have built up John Harbaugh to be something he's not. We'll get into it, I promise. The number to join, as always, 888-808-1019. 19 years in Pittsburgh, not a single losing season.
Correct.
And you don't want him. Okay,
I didn't say I do want him.
Interesting. Hey, Tom Coughlin, can you do us a solid?
Absolutely.
While you're on the phone, can you also call Mike Tomlin up and tell him working for the Giants would be great? Hey, Plaxico, you played for the Steelers. Can you tell him how great it was to be a New York Giant? Hey, Eli Manning, not in the Hall of Fame yet. Can you call Mike Tomlin and tell me he should come work here?
Yeah. And if they sat back and did nothing, then they would be this organization that doesn't care. I
like what Chris Mara did. Chris Mara going to his home and talking to him was a good move. I gave him credit for that.
Have I seen, and again, you're throwing out these names. I've seen Coughlin.
Yeah.
Who else has reached out?
Trust me.
Oh, I'm just going to trust you. Blindly trust you.
No, not blindly.
Okay.
Perhaps I have relationships with people.
Okay.
Perhaps I talk to people.
So there's a bunch of people reaching out to Harbaugh.
Well, they've been asked to.
Well, I mean, have the Falcons, because apparently he had a conversation with Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan talked to him.
Yeah. Who knows? Who else?
Matt Ryan's like, please
Mike
come
Vick
here.
calling him?
I think so.
I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know. Atlanta's not stooping that low. Coming to you live from the Town Fair Tire Studios, powered by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Mike Tomlin has informed the Pittsburgh Steelers that he is stepping down, and now we're hearing from some of the NFL insiders. Again, Jordan will join us in about 45 minutes. That he has also told the Pittsburgh Steelers his current plan. Obviously, this can change with time, but for the moment, he is saying he is going to take a break from coaching. So, look, I mean, it's one less possible candidate for teams like the New York Giants, but what a great career, 19 years.
Amazing.
Obviously, not as many Super Bowl rings as they would have thought, but still. 19 years and not a single losing season. You had a bunch of 9-8s in there. You had some 8-8s in there. A couple of years where he didn't make the playoffs at all, of course. But he goes out winning a division title, which is something I think you hang your hat on when you look back on your career. Made it to the playoffs. Took a 42-year-old quarterback into the playoffs with only one legitimate wide receiver threat in DK Metcalf. And they just came across a bulldog defense that's going to beat a lot of teams and maybe make a run to the Super Bowl. So it's all said and done. Mike Tomlin, Hall of Famer. I think we all agree on that.
Oh, absolutely.
And if he were available, no arguing on this one, he would be at the top of most people's list.
Yeah, no. Without question, be at the top of mine, and I think he would be up for any job. But that's why I didn't get as excited. I don't know if you remember when you told me that Harbaugh was available.
Yeah.
The pure joy that washed over my face.
Yes.
I did not feel the same with Mike Tomlin because there was so much talk about him wanting to take a break that it didn't feel like he would jump right into his next job. It sounds like that's the case. We'll find out. But yes, no question, Hall of Famer, and way too much flack. I'm sorry. I could understand, as you said, a fan base that has now seen 7 consecutive playoff losses, right? They haven't won a Super Bowl.
Which I think is a record,
I think it is. 7 consecutive losses. I think the last 3 all by double digits.
That's the record. I'm sorry. Yeah,
they've been non-competitive in the last almost decade of playoff football. That is fair. And while I do get that, and certainly wanting to move on or understanding maybe it's time for a change, and clearly he recognized it's time for a change. The chanting of fire Tomlin at games, the anger, the vitriol showed by him is crazy to me. He has taken quarterbacks since Ben Roethlisberger left. You want to go through the names of the lousy quarterbacks that this guy finds a way to win 9-10 games with every year? Last year, with 2 quarterbacks who couldn't play for the Giants and Jets.
Yep.
2. He managed to find a way into the playoffs last year. That's all the guy does.
Yep.
He has not been given a roster to go compete for a championship. And while he could have done better in the postseason, and there have been some no-shows, I think Mike Tomlin is one of the great head coaches in NFL history, quite honestly. And what he's been able to do with his tenure of the 19 years in Pittsburgh is remarkable. And, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. And if he does want to get back into coaching, if he wants
he'll
1
have
year
a job
out,
as soon as he wants
if he wants 1 year out.
Well, look, I think after 19 straight years, what's interesting when you compare him to Harbaugh, and you're going to bring Vrabel into the conversation, it's a grind. Anyone you ever talk to any coach, it's a grind. So it was not surprising that Mike Vrabel took a year off, right? Get away from the grind, appreciate it more, get back with your family, and then decide, all right, everyone good with me going back? And then you go back in, it's a grind again, right? So I understand why a guy like Mike Tomlin wants a year away. I would have understood if John Harbaugh wanted a year away, and then if you wait just a year, when you decide you want to come back, both those guys would have been the top of everyone's list anyway. So you wouldn't have lost anything if you decided to take a year off. But your point, which a lot of people have made, is a good one. Mason Rudolph, Duck Hodges, Josh Dobbs, Kenny Pickett, and Justin Fields, and never had a losing season.
Never.
And went to the playoffs most of those seasons as well. Just nothing to show for it in the postseason.
Amazing.
That guy could coach my team any day.
Any day. And I'll tell you this right now, and I know you said you want to put him on the back burner.
Yeah.
If he wants 1 year off to spend with the family and then reevaluate things, you know what the Jets should do? They should embarrass themselves and call up Joe Willie Namath and say, why don't you give Mike Tomlin a call?
We wouldn't do that.
You know what he should do?
Yeah.
Yes, they should. That's exactly what they should do.
No.
Yeah. That's exactly what they should do. They should go find, go find another, have Wayne Krebet.
Yeah.
Give him a call.
Bart Scott. Rex Ryan.
Give him a call.
Sure.
Rex Ryan.
Why not?
Give him a call.
Yeah.
Mark said, someone else. Maybe not Mark, but someone else. Give him a call and try Adam Gase with his crazy eyes.
Yeah.
Send him over there.
Allow me to say this to you.
Just saying, you should humble yourself and embarrass yourself as much as the Giants have done so.
My New York Jets would not stoop that low. Yeah, okay. They don't have to. Okay. All right? by the way, if it comes
You're
down,
right, because there's no point. He'll never come here.
If it comes to embarrassing themselves, the Jets don't have to ask anyone to help them. They do that all by themselves every single day of the week. Yeah, by the way, I can see the Jets putting out a tweet today. We're the team that made Joe Namath famous. Right. Hey, Mike Tomlin, want to join?
Right.
That wouldn't shock me. I would be critical of it, of course. But it would not shock me. Right. Let's take some calls.
Was that the last, we're the team that had the last Mike Tomlin playoff victory? Was that the last one?
That might be.
That might be the last.
Certainly
Can I ask another question? You want to save it for next?
If it's on this topic,
It's on this topic.
Yeah, good.
How bitter is John Harbaugh towards Baltimore?
How bitter is John Harbaugh towards Baltimore? From what standpoint? That they fired him?
Yeah.
Well, I think based on what Tomlin did, it looks like Tomlin went to the Rooneys and said, I need a break.
Right.
And the Rooneys said, we accept that. We'll accept your resignation. We're good. I don't think it didn't happen that way in Baltimore. The story goes he had a phone call with Biscotti, the owner, and then shortly after that, he found that he was fired. Something like that.
Well, my question is,
go ahead.
Atlanta, the Giants, Tennessee, Pittsburgh?
What do you mean? Oh, from a Harbaugh standpoint?
Yeah.
He's not going to Pittsburgh.
Would he consider Pittsburgh?
I don't think so because he doesn't have a quarterback. I still think if you're John Harbaugh.
I'm just saying,
one of the
it's a well-run organization. He knows it well.
You don't have a
quarterback.
And I think this. I think even though he got fired, I do think at some level, like he'll always be a Raven.
Right.
And I think if you consider yourself, I'm always a Raven, much like, I'll be a little different because you got Lamar Jackson there. Like could Tomlin go to Baltimore? Right? That's the best job available.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's better than the Giant job because Lamar Jackson. Obviously, Harbaugh can't go there. He just left there. But I think, I think it sounds like he's taking a year off. But I do not see John Harbaugh going to Pittsburgh, even though the Rooneys have mad respect. I think John Harbaugh is going to pick, do I like Cam Ward as a quarterback or do I like Jackson Dart as a quarterback more? I don't think it's about the organization. I don't think it's about who the current GM is or not. I think both teams are probably willing to meet all four of those demands. You get final say in personnel, $20 million, $10 million for your staff. And then it comes down to, and I guess living is a part of it. Do I want to live in New Jersey or do I want to live in Tennessee? Right? And do I want to coach Cam Ward or do I want to coach Jackson Dart? New York has all the intangibles better than Tennessee, other than I think state income tax. Right? We got them in food. We got them in the ocean. Right? We got them in everything. All right? We're right there next to New York. Right?
Right.
So I think New York Giants trump the Titans in every possible way other than income tax. And I don't know what he thinks about Cam Ward versus Jackson Dart. And to me, both teams are going to put on the full court press. Who's famous in Tennessee? Oh, I don't know. Every country music singer of all time.
Exactly right.
And am I going to stoop to the Giants' lows and have Chris Stapleton and Riley Green?
Right, send over a bottle of Tennessee whiskey.
yeah, right. Come to Tennessee. So I don't know that. Yeah. But if I'm Tennessee, I got to go lower than the Giants because I'm desperate to get him also. I think the Giants is a better job. My gut is he's going to coach the Giants.